Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is TCG, and in today's video we are going to be going over the red Garos deck from One Punch Man. It's just going to be one of those really nice rush decks, just like the other red decks that we've played, like in Demon Slayer. But before we get into that deck list, we're going to go ahead and at least just talk about one of the updates that just came out today, actually, for EX Burst. I'll go ahead and try to figure out how to put like a timestamp down in the description below, so that way, if you're not interested in the update, you can go ahead and just skip straight over to the deck list, and we'll go ahead and just speak about what kind of updates came out today, and then eventually we'll go right over into the deck. But I feel like these updates are pretty nice, and I think it's something that everyone should look into, especially for anybody that's looking into things like managing their collection. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. First thing you're going to want to do when you're on the website, just go up here to the top after you have your account made, and you just want to go down here to My Collection. And right here, you're going to have pretty much something that just says your name at the top, and then Collection Overview and Selections. So pretty much all you got to do is just once you're here, just choose the IP of your choosing. Pretty much we have everything out right now for the English on this website. I believe you can even do One Punch Man. Let's see. So yeah, pretty much what you're going to see when you first get on here, it's going to tell you about the Collection Manager tutorial. It tells you about collection management, smart filters, trading features, advanced tools. Just press next again. The color purple, it'll show you that as long as you have the max amount of copies in your deck or in your collection, it's something that'll show you. It'll highlight the card purple. Green will show you that it's like partially completed, and then red, it'll just mean that you don't have any at all. This just shows you the quantity controls, trading system, wish list, ignore cards, and then smart tags, view option, stat tracking. If you want to go ahead and read all that, go ahead and just pause the video if you want, or just whenever you get onto the website, you can go ahead and see it again. But pretty much right here, this is going to show you what's out for One Punch Man. You can just scroll down and you'll see more as it says right here. So it'll just load in more as you go ahead and go through it. But pretty much, for example, let's say we go ahead and just have like 4 of these Genos right here. You can go ahead and just increase the quantity, so you'll see it turns green immediately just to show that you have some of it because it's partially completed. But if you go ahead and get up to 4, it'll highlight as purple, showing you that it's completely completed all the way. You'll see these 2 checkboxes as well. You can't really hover over it to show exactly what it means, but if you saw before, like if I go down 1, you'll see 1 checkbox goes away. 1 checkbox shows that you at least have it, I'm assuming. And then I think the other one is just to show that you have the full set. But as well as those other icons right here, you have the ignore this card, I want this card, and I trade this card. So pretty much you can just select those options and do all the different trading options, or just show that you want to put something on your wish list like it was saying in the beginning. And so yeah, that's pretty much one of the new features right now. You can also share your collection with people once you go ahead and completely put everything in. I plan to also go ahead and put my entire collection into the EX Burst site soon. It's going to take me a minute because I honestly have so much bulk over on the side. Then you can mass manage your cards, and then also stats and filters. So yeah, it also just shows you like the percentage of how much of that set you've completed. Obviously I don't have any of the One Punch Man cards because it's not out yet, so I'm going to be at 0. But yeah, for example, you can just go ahead and just completely fill up your entire collection, and it'll just show you everything that you've got. And I think that's pretty nice. I think it's a good update to have. I think it's something that a lot of people have been looking for. But yeah, let's go ahead and get over into the red Genos deck. This is the deck that we're going to be going with. Let's go ahead and order it in from least to greatest like we always do. And to start us off, we're going to have 4 of these 0 energy 1 AP Baros. When played, you just go ahead and draw a card, then place 1 card from your hand and throw it into your sideline. The active trigger is going to be choose a character on your field, switch it to active, and it gains 3000 BP until the end of the turn. This Baros card is going to have 1500 BP and generate 1 energy for you. It's going to be one of our raid triggers as well for one of the cards we'll go over later on. Next card we have coming up is going to be 4 of these 0 energy 1 AP Garo. He's just going to be a vanilla character, one of the other raid triggers that we have for the actual raid trigger Garos later on. Or Garo, sorry, my bad. He's another active trigger as well, so just select another character on your front line, give it 3000 BP. This guy's going to also have 2000 BP for himself and generate 1 energy for you. Next card that we have is going to be 4 of these 0 energy 1 AP Terreo, I think is how you say his name. He just has an activate main ability, switch him to resting, and then sideline him. You get to add one of your Garos from your sideline to your hand. I like using this card. I've play tested a little bit on Cardboard Kitsune. I've mainly used him to pretty much if I've ever had played Boros first, go ahead and draw a card and then sideline a card from hand. If I have any of my Garos in hand, I'll just go ahead and throw them into the sideline because I'll normally have another Taro in hand that I can go ahead and just bring them right back if I really need to, or save them for later in the game. So if I want to just like grab a what's it called, a Garo from a sideline that I ended up throwing away at some point, I can just go ahead and do that as well, or if my opponent decided to sideline him too. But yeah, we're going to run 4 of him just to help us reach at least 12 zero energies for this deck. We honestly probably don't need too many 0 energies. Whenever I've played with this deck, I've caught myself not really using too many of them because I get them pretty often. But yeah, he's going to have 500 BP, not going to really be that much of a good attacker for us. But he's also going to generate 1 energy for us as well. Next card that we're going to have is 1 energy, 1 AP Phoenix Man, Monster Association. This character, when played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Garo or a Monster Association affinity card among them, and add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then if you added a card to your hand, place 1 card from your hand and add it to the sideline. So this is another card that you can use to go ahead and throw a Garo into your sideline if you want to go ahead and get ready to use Taro. And then also just to throw anything in the sideline just to go ahead and just keep milling your deck as much as you need. And so yeah, this character is also going to have 1500 BP. It's going to be a draw card trigger, generate 1 energy for us, and we're going to just be running 4 of these guys as well. Next card is going to be 1 energy, 1 AP Tempest Wind, Monster Association. When played, return 1 character on your field with 1 energy or less required energy to your hand. If you cannot return this character to your hand, the usual bounce back 1 energy or less character so you can generate 2. It's going to have 1500 BP and generate 2 energy for us as well. We're only going to run 2 of these guys. We don't really need them too much, honestly. And the next card we're going to have 2 energy, 1 AP Garo. When played, place up to 2 cards from the top of your deck into your sideline. It's going to also be a color trigger, so you get to choose 1 character with 2500 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. He's going to also have 3000 BP for us whenever we need to attack or defend. It's going to also generate 1 energy for us as well on the back line. Next card is going to be 3 energy, 1 AP Garo. During our turn, this character gains 1000 BP. It's going to also generate 2 energy for us as well. Has 3000 BP. Sorry, I think I said that twice, my bad. But yeah, pretty much you're going to want to normally play this guy on the back line to help you generate your energy quick. And then if you want to, just go ahead and push him to the front line. Or you can use them as just another raid target as well, like the other Garos too, just like this one here, or the 0 energy. But our next Garo as well is going to be 3 energy, 1 AP. This character gains all the abilities listed below if you have the required number of cards in your sideline. If you have 5, this character gains 500. If you have 10, add another 500, 15, add another 500. So at least if you have 15 or more cards in your sideline, you'll be gaining 1500 BP with this Garo. And then also when played, you may pay 1 AP. If you do pay 1 AP, you choose 1 character on your opponent's front line with BP equal to or less than this character's BP and sideline it. So if you're able to go ahead and add 500 in the 3 different terms, either 5, 10, or 15, based off of whatever BP your Garo has when you place him, you'll be able to go ahead and sideline one of the characters on your opponent's front line, which is going to be pretty nice. Our next Garo is going to be 4 energy, 1 AP. This character gains all abilities as well if you have the required amount in your sideline. For 5, when attacking, look at the top card of your deck, then place it either on the top of your deck or into your sideline. If you have got 10 or more, he gains Nullify Impact, and if you got 15 or more, he gains damage too. This guy's also got the active trigger, choose 1 character on your field, switch it to active, it gains 2000 BP. This Garo's also got 4000 BP and also generates 1 energy for you as well. We're going to be running 4 of him because he's pretty nice, honestly. And then our last and final Garo is going to be 6 energy, 1 AP. This character gains all the abilities as well like the others if you've got the required amount in your sideline. If you got 5 or more, when attacking, draw up to 1 card. If you got 10 or more, this character gains 500 BP and Impact 1. If you've got 15 or more, this character gains 500 BP and a once per turn. When this character attacks and is not blocked, switch him to active. So pretty much he's going to be a nice little double attack with Impact if your opponent doesn't choose to block him. But for the most part, they're going to want to block so you don't get a free attack in there. He's also got the raid trigger, so if you pull him out of life, you get to go ahead and choose to raid him if you've got the required energy. And then also, it's 4000 BP, generates 1 energy for you as well in the energy line if you need. And our last and final character, which is going to be our last raid trigger as well, is going to be Boros. He's going to also be 6 energy, 1 AP. If the combined total of your life and your opponent's life is 4 or less, reduce this card's required energy by 2 while in your hand. Pretty much with this Boros, you're going to want to play him late game, kind of like Nanami, where you've got at least 15 cards or less in your deck. So he's pretty much just like the One Punch Man version of Nanami, I'd say, with the fact that you've got to have at least a required amount of life instead of it being a required amount of cards in your deck. I think it's still pretty good for the fact that you get Impact 1, and then also whenever you play this character gains 1000 BP until the end of the turn. If the combined total of life cards for your opponent and yourself is 4 or less, you may pay 1 AP. If you do, choose up to one character on your opponent's front line and sideline it. It's also another get trigger, so add it to your hand if you pull it from life. It's got 4000 BP and also generates 1 energy for you on the energy line. So that's going to be it for the characters. We're also going to only be running 2 of him, by the way, not a full 4. Just because we don't really, I at least don't plan to play this card too late. This is also just one of the other decks I was telling you guys about, like the last green Saitama deck that I did, where I told you guys this was something that my buddy had sent to me. And so honestly, I think this is another really good deck after playing it a lot. I've honestly won, I think, twice so far out of like the 3 or 4 games I've played. But yeah, it's honestly pretty good. If there's any updates to the characters that you think that you would add or change, let me know. But before we finish it off, let's go ahead and go over the event insight. We're going to run 4 of the monster cells, pretty much as regular AP stand up. Pay 1, get 2. It's going to be a final trigger there as well. 3 energy, 1 AP. We also have our special trigger. It's going to be 5 energy, 2 AP. If Garo is on your field, reduce this card's AP cost by 1 when in your hand. Choose up to one character with 5000 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. Choose up to one Garo on your field. It gains if your opponent sidelines this character with a special ability, they add the card with a special ability to their hand instead until the end of the turn. It's also because it's special. If you pull it from your own life, you get to go ahead and silent a character on their front line. But pretty much what this ability means, say you're the one that's going ahead and attacking the opponent. If you end up hitting one of their special triggers, instead of them bouncing back one of your character, or if they try to bounce back that Garo, they go ahead and add that special trigger back to hand. And so our last and final event or sight card is going to be our 3 energy 1 AP Monster Association. Whenever it's on your field, activate main, switch it to resting, place the top card of your deck into your sideline, or you can set it to resting and then sideline it after this one. Place one Garo or Monster Association affinity card from your sideline to the top of your deck. It's got a get trigger, it fits in your life, so you get to add it to your hand, and it's also going to generate 2 energy for us as well in the energy line. And so that's pretty much going to be it for this Garo deck. Honestly, I think it's really good, like I said before. It's a very fast-paced deck, so you want to attack as fast as you can. And don't be afraid to get rid of the Garos if you need to, based off of the draw triggers. You're able to go ahead and bring him back with Taro if you need to. It's pretty good as well. But yeah, pretty much if there's anything else that you guys feel like should be added to this deck or changed, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.